Stop scrolling right now because this moment was arranged for you long before you press play on this video. You may think you found this message randomly, but nothing about this encounter is accidental. I know exactly where you are, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually at this very moment. I know the pressure you have been carrying in silence. I know the thoughts you never tell anyone about. I know the hidden battles behind your smile. And today, I want you to stay until the end, because there is something your soul needs to hear before this day is over. You have spent too much time believing you are alone in your struggles. You kept asking why life became so heavy. You kept wondering why certain doors closed, why people changed, why opportunities disappeared, and why your prayers seemed delayed. But I tell you now, I was never absent from your story. Even during the nights when tears fell from your eyes and nobody knew how much pain lived inside your heart, I was there beside you. I saw every disappointment that weakened your confidence. I saw every betrayal that made it harder for you to trust people again. I saw how exhaustion slowly entered your spirit. You became tired of pretending to be strong all the time. You became tired of carrying responsibilities while silently breaking inside. But listen to me carefully now. You survived every moment because my hand remained over your life, even when you could not see it. There were days when fear whispered that nothing would ever change. Fear told you your future would stay limited. Fear told you your mistakes were bigger than your purpose. Fear told you it was too late for your life to become meaningful. But fear has lied to you for too long. I did not create you to remain trapped in hopelessness. I created you with purpose, strength, wisdom, and destiny inside you. Do not skip this message, because what I am telling you can change the direction of your life if you truly apply it in your heart. The greatest battles in your life are not always around you. Many of them are happening within your own thoughts. The enemy knows that if your mind becomes filled with doubt, negativity, and hopelessness, your spirit becomes weak. That is why you must learn to protect your thoughts carefully. Stop speaking failure over your future. Stop waking up every day expecting disappointment. Your words shape your atmosphere more than you realize. When you constantly say, "Nothing good ever happens for me," you strengthen discouragement inside yourself. But when you begin speaking faith, peace, healing, and growth, your spirit slowly becomes stronger again. There were relationships that ended because they could not continue into the future. I prepared for you. There were closed doors that protected you from pain you could not yet understand. There were delays that taught you patience, wisdom, and maturity. Not everything you lost was meant to destroy you. Some things had to leave so better things could eventually enter your life. My child, I need you to stop measuring your worth by the opinions of people who never understood your heart. Some people judged you without knowing your battles. Some only noticed your mistakes while ignoring your growth. Some spoke against you because they were fighting darkness within themselves. But people do not determine your value. Your identity was established by me before anyone spoke over your life. I want you to understand something important today. Healing does not happen by pretending pain never existed. Healing begins when you bring your brokenness into the light instead of hiding it in silence. Some of you keep carrying emotional wounds from years ago. You still replay painful memories in your mind. You still carry guilt from old mistakes. You still punish yourself for things I already told you to release. Forgive yourself. You cannot move peacefully into your future while constantly living inside your past. Learn from your failures, but do not build your identity around them. You are more than your worst moments. You are more than your fears. You are more than the labels others placed on you. And listen carefully, because this part matters deeply for your future. Discipline will take you where emotions cannot. Some days you will not feel motivated. Some days you will feel tired, discouraged, and mentally drained. But continue anyway. Pray anyway. Work anyway. Keep building your life anyway. Small, consistent steps create transformation over time. The world has trained many people to compare themselves constantly. You look at someone else succeeding, and suddenly begin doubting your own journey. But your timing is different because your assignment is different. Stop asking why your life does not look like someone else's story. I am writing something unique through your life. You have already survived seasons that should have broken you completely. That alone proves there is still purpose attached to your future. You may not fully see it yet, but I am still guiding your steps even during seasons of confusion. There are blessings forming that you cannot yet see. There are opportunities approaching that you have not imagined. There are connections being arranged that will help change your direction. But you must remain faithful during the process instead of giving up too early. Some of you listening right now are emotionally exhausted because you keep trying to carry everything alone. You were never meant to handle life without rest, prayer, wisdom, and peace. Slow down when necessary. Spend time rebuilding your spirit instead of constantly draining yourself trying to impress everyone around you. I also want you to stop ignoring your inner life. Take care of your mind. Take care of your heart. Protect your peace. Not every conversation deserves your energy. Not every negative opinion deserves your attention. Some people will misunderstand you no matter how good your intentions are. Let them misunderstand while you continue growing. If this message is reaching your heart today, type "Yes, I believe" in the comments as a declaration that you are ready to move forward into a new season with faith instead of fear. And remember this, before this message ends, you are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not invisible. I have seen every hidden tear, every silent prayer, every private battle, and every moment you almost gave up. Stay until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead will help strengthen your faith, your mindset, your healing, and your purpose in ways that can truly impact your daily life. And if these words brought peace to your heart today, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this message with someone who may need encouragement tonight. And if you feel happy and strengthened by these words, you can also support this ministry through the link given below, so these messages can continue reaching people who are hurting, praying, and searching for hope. Say amen. If you are ready for the new season, I am preparing for your life. Before you continue listening to the noise of fear, disappointment, and doubt, stop and hear my voice clearly today. You have spent too much time believing that every delay in your life meant you were being rejected, forgotten, or left behind. But I am telling you now, what looked like delay was often protection. What looked like silence was preparation. What looked like loss was the beginning of redirection. Do not leave this message halfway, because there is something I need your spirit to understand deeply. The pain of waiting has exhausted many parts of your heart. You prayed for opportunities that never arrived when you expected them. You hoped certain relationships would last forever, but they disappeared. You knocked on doors that never opened. You worked hard while watching others move ahead faster than you. And quietly, without telling anyone, discouragement started growing inside you. You asked yourself questions you were afraid to speak out loud. Why is my life moving so slowly? Why does everything feel difficult? Did I do something wrong? Have I been forgotten? But today I want you to hear this truth carefully. Waiting is not proof that your future is empty. Delays do not mean your destiny disappeared. Many times I slowed things down because your spirit, your wisdom, your character, or your environment needed preparation first. If I had given you certain blessings too early, they would have overwhelmed you instead of helping you. Some people ask for success before developing discipline. Some ask for influence before learning humility. Some ask for relationships before healing emotionally. Some ask for opportunities while still carrying destructive habits that would damage those opportunities once they arrived. I was not punishing you during the waiting season. I was shaping you. You wanted immediate answers, but I wanted lasting growth. You wanted quick relief, but I was building deeper strength inside you. You wanted the door opened instantly, but I could already see danger standing behind some doors you were begging me to unlock. There were moments when disappointment broke your heart, because you thought something perfect was slipping away from you. But if you could see the full picture, the way I see it, you would understand why some people had to leave, why some plans had to collapse, and why some dreams needed to be rebuilt differently. Not everything you cried over was meant to stay in your life forever. Some people were assignments, not lifelong companions. Some opportunities were distractions disguised as blessings. Some delays saved you from future regret. And some painful endings became the very reason you discovered your true strength. My child, stop interpreting every difficult season as abandonment. Some of your greatest growth happened during seasons you never would have chosen for yourself. The pressure taught you endurance. The heartbreak taught you discernment. The waiting taught you patience. The loneliness taught you how to depend on me instead of depending completely on people. I know waiting has been emotionally exhausting for you. I know there were moments when you smiled publicly but privately wondered how much longer you could keep going. There were nights when anxiety filled your thoughts. You kept comparing your life to everyone around you. You saw others celebrating milestones while you silently battled uncertainty. But comparison is draining your peace. You are watching someone else's chapter and forgetting that your own story is still being written. Different journeys require different timing. Some people receive quickly, but lose quickly. Some receive slowly, but build lasting foundations. Never confuse speed with purpose. I need you to stop calling yourself a failure simply because life unfolded differently than you expected. Your value does not disappear because your timeline changed. You are still growing. You are still becoming. You are still moving forward even if progress feels slower than you hoped. Listen carefully because this can transform your life if you apply it daily. Stop wasting your strength trying to control everything. Some things are beyond your control, but they are never beyond mine. Your responsibility is obedience, discipline, faith, and perseverance. Constant worry will not create peace. Endless fear will not create solutions. You must learn to trust even when you cannot fully see where the road is leading. There are people listening right now who became bitter because life did not happen according to their plans. They stopped believing in new beginnings because disappointment happened too many times. But bitterness will poison your future if you continue feeding it. Release the anger. Release the resentment. Release the need to understand every single thing immediately. Not every answer arrives instantly. Not every breakthrough happens overnight. Even seeds remain hidden underground before growth becomes visible. You keep asking why your season has taken so long, but growth beneath the surface still matters even when nobody else can see it. I also want you to understand this truth. Isolation is dangerous when you are emotionally wounded. Stop shutting everyone out completely. Yes, protect your peace. Yes, guard your heart wisely. But do not become so guarded that you refuse healing, support, wisdom, or healthy connection. There are people I will place in your life to encourage you, guide you, and strengthen you during difficult seasons. Do not let disappointment make you emotionally cold. You were not created to live permanently trapped inside survival mode. You were created to heal, grow, love, build, and move forward again. And hear me carefully now. Your future still carries purpose. Your dreams are not dead. Your life is not over. Your story is not finished. The season you are entering will require courage, because new beginnings always feel uncomfortable at first. But stop waiting until fear completely disappears before taking steps forward. Courage grows while moving, not while hiding. Wake up each day with intention. Pray even when emotions feel weak. Protect your mind from constant negativity. Spend less time feeding fear and more time feeding faith. Some of you have allowed social media, toxic conversations, and endless comparison to drain your confidence completely. Step away from environments that constantly weaken your spirit. Protect what enters your heart. If this message is touching your spirit today, type "I trust the process" in the comments as a declaration that you will stop allowing delays to destroy your faith. And stay until the end of this journey, because the words ahead will continue helping you rebuild your confidence, your peace, your discipline, and your spiritual strength for the season that is coming next in your life. Always remember this. Delays are not always denial. Sometimes they are preparation for blessings bigger than what you originally imagined. Say amen. If you believe better days are still ahead for you, listen to me carefully, because your heart needs this truth today more than you realize. There were many moments when you thought you were completely alone. You looked around and saw nobody who truly understood the battle happening inside you. You smiled in front of people while silently carrying exhaustion, fear, disappointment, and emotional pain. You kept moving through life while feeling empty inside. And during those dark moments, you questioned where I was. But I never left you, not for a single moment. Even when your prayers felt unanswered, I was listening. Even when your tears fell in silence, I was near. Even when your strength became weak, my hand remained over your life. Do not stop listening now, because there is something important your spirit must understand before this message ends. The enemy tried to convince you that your suffering meant you had been abandoned. That lie slowly entered your thoughts during your hardest nights. You wondered if your mistakes pushed you too far away from grace. You wondered if your failures canceled your future. You wondered if your pain meant you were forgotten. But pain was never proof of my absence. Some storms were shaping your strength. Some battles were teaching you endurance. Some lonely seasons were teaching you how to hear my voice more clearly without depending entirely on people around you. I know there were nights when anxiety kept your mind restless. I know there were mornings when you woke up already emotionally tired before the day even started. I saw how pressure slowly built inside your heart while you continued pretending everything was fine. I saw the silent tears nobody else noticed. I saw the moments you almost gave up completely. And still, you survived. That was not an accident. You are still here because I carried you through moments you thought would destroy you. There were dangers you never saw because I protected you quietly. There were breakdowns I prevented. There were traps you avoided without realizing it. Some people walked away from your life because I was removing distractions that could not follow you into your future. Some opportunities disappeared because they were never aligned with the purpose I prepared for you. But human understanding is limited. Many times you judge situations only by immediate emotions instead of long-term wisdom. You cried over what left while I was preparing something healthier to arrive later. My child, you must stop measuring my presence only by visible blessings. Some people believe I am near only when life feels easy. But often I work most deeply during hidden seasons when growth is happening beneath the surface. A tree grows roots underground long before fruit appears publicly, and many of you are in a season where roots are growing. You are becoming stronger emotionally, wiser spiritually, more disciplined mentally, more careful relationally, more aware of what truly matters in life. The storm did not come to destroy you. It came to reveal how strong you are becoming. You keep focusing on how painful the season felt while forgetting how much you survived. Look at yourself honestly. Years ago, certain situations would have completely broken you. But now you are still standing, despite everything you faced. That growth matters. Do not waste your suffering by learning nothing from it. Pain can either make a person wiser or more bitter. The choice becomes yours. Some people spend years trapped inside anger because life hurt them. They replay betrayal repeatedly. They feed resentment daily. They allow wounds to become identity. But bitterness slowly poisons peace. Release what is destroying your spirit. You cannot heal while constantly reopening old wounds inside your mind. There are memories you must stop reliving every day. There are conversations you must stop replaying. There are regrets you must stop carrying. You keep asking for peace while holding tightly to pain I already told you to release. Forgiveness does not mean pretending nothing happened. Forgiveness means refusing to let past pain continue controlling your future. And listen carefully, because this next truth can change your life. If you apply it consistently, stop speaking hopelessness over yourself. Your thoughts shape your emotional atmosphere. When you constantly repeat negative words about your life, your future, your appearance, your worth, or your ability. You strengthen darkness inside your own spirit. Speak life instead. Say, I will heal. Say, I will grow. Say, I will rise again. Say, this difficult season will not last forever. You underestimate the power of your daily thoughts and words. Many people destroy their confidence long before opportunities even arrive because they continuously speak defeat over themselves. You are entering a season where emotional discipline will matter deeply. Protect your mind from constant negativity. Stop feeding your spirit endless fear through toxic conversations, unhealthy environments, and destructive habits. Not everything deserves your attention. Some of you need rest more than worry. Some of you need prayer more than panic. Some of you need healing more than constant distraction. Slow down enough to hear your own spirit again. I know you became tired from carrying responsibilities while trying to appear strong for everyone else. But strength does not mean ignoring your emotions. Real strength includes honesty, healing, wisdom, patience, and self-control. You also need to stop comparing your hidden struggles to someone else's public success. Comparison is stealing your peace daily. People often show their victories while hiding their battles. Stop assuming everyone else has a perfect life while only you struggle secretly. Every person faces storms. Every person battles fear sometimes. Every person experiences seasons of uncertainty. But storms do not last forever, and neither will yours. If you remain faithful during difficult seasons, wisdom grows inside you that comfort alone could never produce. Some of your greatest future strength is being built right now through the pressure you currently dislike. And hear this clearly today. You are not too broken to rebuild your life. You are not too late to begin again. You are not too damaged to heal. You are not too weak to grow stronger. There is still purpose ahead of you. There is still joy ahead of you. There is still peace ahead of you. Do not quit in the middle of your transformation. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit today, type "God is with me" in the comments as your declaration that you will no longer believe the lie that you are alone. And stay until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is meant to strengthen your faith, renew your mindset, and help guide you into a healthier, wiser, and more peaceful season of life. Remember this deeply tonight. Storms may shake your life, but they cannot cancel the purpose I placed inside you. Say amen. If you believe you are being carried into a stronger season, before you allow another day to pass, filled with fear, insecurity, and self-doubt, stop and listen to my voice carefully. You have questioned your value for too long. You have allowed disappointment, rejection, mistakes, and delays to convince you that your life carries no special purpose. But today I am telling you clearly, there is still something important placed inside you that the world has not fully seen yet. Do not leave this message halfway, because what you hear today can help change the way you see yourself forever. The enemy has spent years trying to weaken your confidence because he knows that a person who discovers their true purpose becomes difficult to stop. That is why so many attacks came against your mind. That is why discouragement followed you repeatedly. That is why fear kept whispering that you were not enough. But those whispers were never the truth. You are not ordinary. You are not meaningless. You are not forgotten. You were created intentionally. I formed gifts, wisdom, compassion, strength, and purpose inside you long before you understood who you were becoming. Even during seasons when your confidence disappeared, your purpose still remained alive. I know people made you question yourself. Some spoke words that wounded your spirit deeply. Some criticized your flaws while ignoring your growth. Some made you feel invisible. Others walked away from you during seasons when you needed support the most. And slowly, without realizing it, You began seeing yourself through the opinions of broken people instead of through the truth I speak over your life. My child, stop letting temporary pain define your permanent identity. You made mistakes, but you are not your mistakes. You experienced rejection, but you are not rejected by me. You failed in some areas, but failure is not your final identity. Too many people live trapped by labels created during painful seasons. They spend years replaying old moments instead of stepping into new possibilities. But you cannot fully walk into your future while constantly carrying the weight of who you used to be. Listen carefully, because this truth matters deeply. Purpose often grows in hidden places first. Many people think purpose arrives through instant success, recognition, or public attention, but often purpose develops quietly through struggle, discipline, healing, patience, and endurance. The hard seasons taught you things comfort never could. Pain increased your compassion. Waiting increased your patience. Loneliness increased your awareness. Heartbreak increased your wisdom. And pressure revealed strength you never knew existed inside you. You keep focusing only on what hurt you while ignoring what those experiences developed within you. There are people who will one day find healing because of the wisdom your pain produced. There are lives you will encourage because you survived difficult seasons yourself. There are doors you will walk through because adversity made you stronger instead of destroying you. But first, you must stop speaking against yourself. Many of you destroy your own confidence daily through the words you repeat in your mind. You call yourself weak, unattractive, unworthy, damaged, forgotten, or incapable. And after repeating those thoughts long enough, you begin believing them completely. Be careful what you continually say about yourself. Your mind listens to your repeated thoughts. If you constantly feed your spirit negativity, insecurity will continue growing stronger. But when you begin speaking life, faith, healing, wisdom, and strength over yourself, transformation slowly begins happening internally. Stop saying, "Nothing good will happen for me." Stop saying, "I will never change." Stop saying, "I am too broken." Instead say, "I am growing." Say, "I am healing." Say, "I still have purpose." Say, "Better days are ahead." Words matter more than you realize. I also need you to understand this. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some people only support you when your life benefits them. Some celebrate you publicly but secretly doubt you privately. Some misunderstand your growth because they became comfortable with the older version of you. Do not shrink yourself just to remain accepted by people who fear your growth. Wait. There is a new level of discipline, maturity, and confidence I want to build inside you during this season. But growth requires change, and change often makes people uncomfortable. You cannot become stronger while remaining attached to every old habit, unhealthy mindset, toxic relationship, or destructive environment. Some things must be released for your next season to begin fully. And hear this carefully, because many of you need this reminder today. Stop waiting for perfect confidence before taking steps forward. Confidence grows through action, not avoidance. Fear tells you to stay hidden until you feel completely ready. But most breakthroughs begin while people still feel uncertain. Move forward anyway. Apply for the opportunity anyway. Start rebuilding anyway. Pray anyway. Try again anyway. Healing often begins through movement. I know you became tired from disappointment. I know certain failures embarrassed you deeply. I know there were moments when you wanted to disappear emotionally because life became overwhelming. But your story does not end in weakness. You are still learning, still growing, still becoming stronger, still discovering who you were created to be. Do not rush the process. Even trees take years to fully mature, and many of you are frustrated because you expected immediate transformation while still healing from years of emotional wounds. Give yourself grace while continuing to grow. Some of you need to forgive yourselves for not being perfect. You place impossible pressure on your own shoulders. You expect yourself to heal instantly, succeed instantly, understand everything instantly, and never struggle emotionally. But growth happens gradually. Be patient with yourself and stop comparing your hidden struggles to someone else's visible success. Comparison steals peace from your spirit daily. People often display victories while hiding their battles. Do not assume your journey has less value simply because it looks different. Your path carries purpose too. There is still greatness within you. There is still wisdom developing inside you. There is still healing happening inside your heart. And there is still a future ahead that can become better than your past. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit today, type "I have purpose" in the comments as a declaration that you will stop doubting the value placed inside your life and continue staying until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead will help strengthen your confidence, your peace, your discipline, your healing, and your faith for the season that is unfolding before you. Remember this deeply tonight. The pain you experienced may have shaped part of your story, but it was never meant to erase your purpose. Say amen if you believe your future still carries something greater ahead. Listen to me very carefully today, because this message is reaching you at the exact moment your spirit needs strength. You have been fighting battles inside your mind for too long. Some of those battles were invisible to everyone around you. People saw your face, heard your voice, watched you continue your responsibilities, but they did not see the storm happening within your thoughts. They did not see how fear exhausted you. They did not see how anxiety drained your peace. They did not see the nights when your own mind became heavy with overthinking, doubt, and emotional pressure. But I saw everything. I saw every silent breakdown. I saw every fearful thought you tried to hide. I saw every moment you questioned whether things would ever improve. And today I am telling you this clearly. The chains around your mind are beginning to break. Do not stop listening now, because what you hear today can help free you from cycles that have controlled your emotions for far too long. The enemy has worked hard to attack your thoughts, because thoughts eventually shape actions, emotions, confidence, and decisions. If your mind stays trapped in negativity long enough, your spirit slowly becomes exhausted. That is why you must stop feeding fear daily. Some of you wake up every morning already expecting disappointment. You expect rejection before opportunities even arrive. You assume failure before trying again. You replay painful memories repeatedly until sadness becomes familiar. And without realizing it, you have trained your mind to live in survival mode instead of peace. But I did not create you to live constantly controlled by fear. Fear is stealing your joy. Fear is draining your energy. Fear is convincing you to stay small. Fear is making you doubt gifts and abilities that I already placed inside you. You keep waiting for confidence to magically appear while continuing to speak negatively over yourself every day. But confidence cannot grow in an environment constantly filled with hopelessness. You must become more intentional about what enters your mind and spirit. Protect your inner life carefully. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves space in your thoughts. Not every voice deserves influence over your future. Some people speak from bitterness, jealousy, insecurity, or emotional wounds they never healed from. If you absorb every negative word spoken around you, your peace will disappear quickly. My child, you must learn the difference between wisdom and fear. Wisdom helps you move carefully. Fear stops you from moving at all. Wisdom protects your future. Fear keeps you trapped in yesterday. Too many opportunities have already been delayed because fear convinced you not to try. Too many dreams were ignored because insecurity became louder than purpose. Too many people remain emotionally stuck because they continue believing the worst about themselves. But I'm calling you into a new level of mental freedom during this season. You cannot keep carrying every painful memory forever. You cannot continue replaying betrayal every day. You cannot continue punishing yourself for mistakes that already happened years ago. Some of you are emotionally exhausted because your mind never rests. Even during peaceful moments, your thoughts continue racing with worry, regret, pressure, and fear about the future. But constantly expecting disaster will never create peace inside your heart. You must learn to slow down mentally. Spend less time feeding panic. Spend more time feeding faith. Spend less time comparing yourself to everyone else. Spend more time building the life placed in front of you. Comparison is damaging many of you deeply. You scroll through other people's lives and secretly feel behind, forgotten, unsuccessful, or unworthy. But you are comparing your hidden struggles to someone else's public highlights. You do not see the full picture of their battles either. Stop measuring your value against another person's timeline. Your journey is different because your assignment is different. Some people bloom early, others bloom later. But delayed growth is not worthless growth. You also need to stop believing every negative thought that enters your mind. Not every thought deserves agreement. Some thoughts are distractions sent to weaken your confidence. Learn to challenge destructive thinking instead of automatically accepting it as truth. When your mind says, "I will never recover," answer with faith. When fear says, "Nothing will change," answer with hope. When insecurity says, "You are not enough," remember what I say about you instead. You are growing stronger. You are healing. You are learning. You are becoming wiser through every season you survived. And hear me carefully now. Healing your mind also requires changing certain habits. Some of you constantly consume negativity all day long. Toxic conversations, endless drama, fear-filled content, unhealthy relationships, and environments filled with stress continue poisoning your peace. You cannot expect a peaceful mind while feeding your spirit chaos every day. Protect your atmosphere. Spend time in prayer. Spend time in silence. Spend time rebuilding emotionally instead of constantly distracting yourself from pain without healing it. I know there were moments when you felt mentally tired from carrying responsibilities alone. You kept trying to stay strong while silently breaking inside. But strength does not mean pretending everything is fine. Real strength includes honesty, healing, discipline, and learning when to rest. Some of you need rest more than pressure. Some of you need healing more than constant productivity. Some of you need peace more than approval from people. Do not ignore your emotional health any longer. The season ahead requires clarity, wisdom, focus, and spiritual strength. And that cannot grow properly while your mind remains chained to fear. Freedom begins with changing what you repeatedly believe about yourself. Freedom begins with forgiving yourself. Freedom begins with releasing what you cannot control. Freedom begins with trusting that your future still carries hope. You are not stuck forever. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too far gone to rebuild your life. And this difficult season will not define the rest of your story. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit today, type, "My mind is free," in the comments as a declaration that fear will no longer control your future, and continue staying until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, restore your peace, rebuild your confidence, and help guide you into the life you were created to live. And if these words are helping strengthen your spirit today, take a moment to share this message with someone who may be silently battling fear, anxiety, or emotional exhaustion right now. And if you feel led to support this ministry and help these messages continue reaching hurting hearts around the world, you can do so through the link given below. Remember this deeply tonight. The battle in your mind may have been strong, but the peace I am building inside you will become stronger. Say amen if you believe freedom and healing are entering your life. Before fear speaks to your mind again tonight, stop and listen carefully to my voice. You have spent too many days allowing fear to decide your actions, control your emotions, and weaken your confidence. Fear has followed you into your decisions, your relationships, your future plans, and even your prayers. It has whispered that you are not ready, not capable, not qualified, and not strong enough. But today, I am telling you something your spirit desperately needs to hear. You are far stronger than the fear trying to control you. Do not leave this message early, because what you hear today can help you break free from emotional chains that have slowed your growth for years. Fear has made you hesitate when opportunities appeared. Fear has convinced you to stay silent when you should have spoken. Fear has made you doubt yourself before even trying. Fear has caused you to expect rejection before anyone responded. And slowly, without realizing it, you began shrinking your own life. But that is not the future I created for you. I did not place purpose inside you so you could spend your life hiding from every challenge. I did not give you gifts so fear could bury them. I did not carry you through painful seasons, just for you to remain trapped in insecurity forever. The storms you survived already prove there is strength inside you that you still have not fully recognized. Look at everything you have already overcome. You survived heartbreak that almost destroyed your peace. You survived disappointment that weakened your confidence. You survived lonely seasons when nobody truly understood your pain. You survived emotional battles that exhausted your mind. And despite everything, you are still here. That is not weakness. That is proof of strength. Fear keeps trying to make you forget how far you have already come. It keeps reminding you of what went wrong while ignoring every battle you already survived. But today, I want you to stop focusing only on your wounds and start recognizing your growth. You became wiser through pain. You became stronger through pressure. You became more aware through disappointment. And even though the process hurt deeply, it developed endurance inside you. My child, many of your fears were created by past experiences. Certain betrayals made it harder for you to trust again. Certain failures made it harder for you to try again. Certain disappointments made you expect the worst, even when new opportunities appeared. Your mind started using old pain to predict your future. But your past is not your prophecy. What happened before does not mean it will happen forever. You cannot walk into new seasons while expecting every situation to repeat old wounds. Fear wants to keep you emotionally frozen. But healing requires movement. Growth requires movement. Purpose requires movement. And faith requires movement. Stop waiting until you feel completely fearless before taking steps forward. Courage does not mean fear disappears instantly. Courage means continuing forward, even while fear tries to speak against you. Some of you have delayed your own growth because you became too comfortable inside safety zones that no longer help you evolve. You avoid risks because you fear failure. You avoid vulnerability because you fear rejection. You avoid opportunities because you fear disappointment. But avoiding everything uncomfortable will also prevent transformation. There are lessons you can only learn through action. There are blessings you can only discover through obedience. There are breakthroughs waiting on the other side of your willingness to move forward, despite uncertainty. I know you want guarantees before taking steps. You want complete clarity before making decisions. You want certainty before trusting again. But faith often grows strongest when you continue moving without seeing the entire path ahead. That is why you must stop feeding fear daily. Some of you spend hours consuming negativity that weakens your spirit. Fearful conversations, toxic environments, endless comparison, constant overthinking, and unhealthy habits continue draining your confidence. Then you wonder why peace feels distant. Protect your mind carefully. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves emotional space inside you. Not every voice deserves influence over your future. There are people who project their fears onto others because they never healed themselves. If you listen to every fearful voice around you, you will remain emotionally stuck. Spend more time feeding faith than feeding panic. Spend more time building than worrying. Spend more time praying than assuming the worst. You also need to stop doubting your ability to rebuild your life. Some of you secretly believe it is too late for change. You think your mistakes permanently ruined your future. But listen carefully. As long as you are still breathing, there is still opportunity for growth. You are not finished. You are not disqualified. You are not beyond healing. There is still purpose ahead of you. And hear me clearly now. Confidence is built through consistency. Many people wait for motivation before taking action, but growth often happens through discipline instead. Continue showing up even on difficult days. Continue praying even when emotions feel weak. Continue learning even after failure. Continue rebuilding even after disappointment. Small, faithful steps eventually create powerful transformation. I know there are moments when exhaustion makes you want to quit completely. Life became heavy. Responsibilities became overwhelming. Emotional wounds became difficult to carry. But do not surrender your future because of temporary pain. This difficult season will not last forever. There is strength growing inside you right now that will help carry you into the next chapter of your life. And remember this deeply. Fear becomes weaker every time you choose faith instead of avoidance. Every step forward matters. Every small act of courage matters. Every moment you refuse to give up matters. If this message is reaching your spirit today, type, "I choose faith over fear," in the comments as a declaration that you are ready to stop allowing fear to control your future. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead are designed to strengthen your confidence, heal your heart, renew your mind, and guide you toward the life you were created to live. Remember tonight, you are stronger than the fear trying to convince you otherwise. Say amen if you believe courage and breakthrough are rising inside you now. Listen carefully to me tonight, because your heart has carried pain for far too long. You have allowed wounds from the past to shape the way you see yourself, the way you trust people, and the way you expect your future to unfold. Certain moments hurt you so deeply that even now, long after they happened, you still carry the weight emotionally. Some pain changed the way you think. Some disappointments changed the way you love. Some betrayals changed the way you trust. And quietly, without realizing it, you began building your identity around what hurt you. But today I am telling you clearly, what wounded you was never meant to become who you are. Do not stop listening, because this message can help free your heart from emotional chains that have followed you for years. The enemy wants your pain to become permanent. He wants you to believe that because you experienced heartbreak, rejection, failure, abandonment, or betrayal, your future will always carry the same suffering. But pain is not your destiny. Yes, certain experiences changed you. Yes, some seasons broke your confidence. Yes, some people damaged parts of your heart. But your wounds are not greater than the healing I can bring into your life. You keep replaying certain memories in your mind like they still have authority over your future. You revisit old conversations. You relive painful endings. You think about moments when people made you feel unwanted, unworthy, or invisible. And every time you return mentally to those places, the pain grows stronger again. But healing cannot fully enter your life while you continue living emotionally inside yesterday. Some things must be released. Some chapters must close. Some memories must stop controlling your emotions. My child, I know forgiveness feels difficult sometimes. Some people hurt you deeply without apologizing. Some walked away without explanation. Some betrayed your trust after you gave them love, loyalty, and support. And part of you still wonders why they treated you that way. But listen carefully. Holding bitterness inside your heart will not punish them. It will slowly poison your own peace instead. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the pain never existed. Forgiveness means refusing to let pain continue controlling your life forever. You cannot move freely into your future while carrying hatred, resentment, and emotional heaviness everywhere you go. There are people listening right now who secretly believe they are too damaged to become happy again. They smile publicly while privately feeling emotionally exhausted. They continue functioning outwardly while inwardly carrying sadness, disappointment, and loneliness. But hear me clearly tonight. Your life is not over because painful things happen to you. Some of your strongest future wisdom is growing from the very pain you wanted to escape. The heartbreak taught you discernment. The disappointment taught you resilience. The waiting taught you patience. The betrayal taught you wisdom. and the pressure revealed strength you did not know existed inside you. You survived seasons that should have completely destroyed your confidence, yet you are still here listening to this message. That alone proves your story is not finished. Stop calling yourself broken every time you struggle emotionally. Stop labeling yourself weak because healing takes time. Stop believing your mistakes permanently ruined your future. Growth is still happening inside you, even when progress feels slow. I also need you to understand this truth carefully. Not every painful ending was punishment. Some endings were protection. Some people left because they could not continue into the future prepared for you. Some relationships ended because they were draining your peace more than strengthening your spirit. You cried over losing people who were secretly limiting your growth. You begged to keep doors open that would have eventually harmed you. But I could already see what you could not see yet. Sometimes separation becomes necessary before healing can fully begin. And hear this carefully, because many of you need this reminder. Stop apologizing for becoming wiser after pain changed you. You are allowed to protect your peace now. You are allowed to set healthier boundaries. You are allowed to step away from environments that constantly damage your emotional health. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your spirit. Protect your heart wisely. Protect your peace intentionally. Protect your future carefully. There are people who will misunderstand your healing process because they benefited from the older version of you, the version that stayed silent, tolerated disrespect, ignored red flags, and carried emotional burdens alone. But growth changes people. Healing changes people. Wisdom changes people. And that is not something you should feel guilty about. You also need to stop comparing your healing journey to everyone else's process. Some people recover quickly. Others need longer seasons of rebuilding emotionally. Do not shame yourself because your healing still feels incomplete sometimes. Healing is not always instant. Sometimes it happens slowly through daily decisions, daily prayer, daily discipline, daily forgiveness, daily faith, daily effort to keep moving forward. Even small progress matters. And remember this deeply tonight. Your scars do not disqualify you from purpose. Some of the most compassionate, wise, and impactful people carry deep scars from battles they survived. Your pain can either make you bitter or make you stronger. The choice becomes yours. I want you to stop looking at yourself only through the lens of what hurt you. You are more than your heartbreak, more than your failures, more than your disappointments, more than the labels people placed on you during painful seasons. There is still greatness inside you. There is still love inside you. There is still strength inside you. There is still purpose ahead of you. And there is still peace available for your future. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit today, type, "I am healing," in the comments as a declaration that your pain will no longer define your identity. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead are designed to strengthen your faith, restore your confidence, renew your peace, and guide you toward emotional healing and spiritual growth. Remember this tonight. What happened to you may have wounded your heart, but it was never meant to destroy the purpose placed inside your life. Say amen. If you believe healing and restoration are entering your life now, pause for a moment and listen carefully, because this message is not reaching you by accident. You have been standing in front of closed doors for so long that part of you started believing nothing would ever change. You prayed, you waited, you tried again, you hoped things would improve. But after repeated disappointments, exhaustion slowly entered your spirit. You became tired of expecting good things because too many situations ended painfully. But today I am telling you clearly, a new door is beginning to open for your life. Do not leave this message halfway, because what you hear today can help prepare your heart for the season ahead. Some of you have become so focused on what closed behind you that you can no longer recognize what is opening in front of you. Pain from the past has clouded your ability to see future possibilities. You are still grieving old opportunities, still replaying old failures, still carrying old disappointments, still wishing certain people had stayed. But I need you to understand something important tonight. Not every closed door was meant to destroy you. Some doors closed because they could not lead you where you were meant to go. You begged for things that would have eventually broken your peace. You cried over relationships that would have delayed your growth. You chased opportunities that looked attractive but carried hidden damage. And while you thought your life was falling apart, I was quietly redirecting your path towards something better. My child, you cannot fully walk into a new season while emotionally living inside an old one. Some of you keep looking backward so often that you are missing what is being placed in front of you right now. Stop asking why certain things ended. Start asking what new thing is beginning. There is a difference between being stuck and being prepared. Some of you thought life was delaying you, but preparation was happening beneath the surface. Your character was growing. Your wisdom was increasing. Your discernment was becoming sharper. Your dependence on temporary things was being broken so you could become stronger internally. And now you are entering a season where new opportunities, new growth, and new direction are starting to appear. But hear me carefully. New doors often require new thinking. You cannot carry the same fear, bitterness, insecurity, and self-doubt into the future and expect peace to grow there. Some habits must change. Some mindsets must heal. Some emotional wounds must finally be released. You keep praying for new beginnings while holding tightly to old pain. Release it. You keep asking for peace while feeding anxiety daily. Protect your mind. You keep asking for growth while remaining afraid of change. But transformation always requires movement. I know change feels uncomfortable sometimes. The unknown can feel frightening. New seasons often require courage because you cannot fully see what lies ahead yet. But do not let fear convince you to stay trapped inside familiar pain simply because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. Some people remain emotionally stuck because they fear trying again. They fear trusting again. They fear hoping again. They fear dreaming again. But if you refuse to move forward, old pain becomes your permanent prison. And I did not create you to live trapped in emotional darkness forever. There are blessings waiting ahead that require your willingness to step forward. There are opportunities forming that require faith instead of fear. There are relationships ahead that will strengthen your spirit instead of draining it. There is healing available that will help restore your confidence again. But you must stop expecting every new season to repeat old suffering. Your future is not automatically doomed because your past was painful. Listen carefully, because many of you need this deeply tonight. Stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Some of you have become so disappointed that negative thinking now feels natural. You automatically expect rejection. You automatically expect failure. You automatically expect disappointment before situations even unfold. But your words shape your emotional atmosphere. When you continually say, "Nothing good ever happens for me," your spirit slowly becomes weaker. Instead, begin speaking with expectation. Say, "New opportunities are coming." Say, "Healing is entering my life." Say, "I will not stay trapped forever." Say, "Better days are ahead." Faith grows when you stop feeding hopelessness daily. I also need you to understand this truth. Not everyone can follow you into your next season. Some people only knew the older version of you, the insecure version, the wounded version, the fearful version. And when you begin growing emotionally and spiritually, certain people may become uncomfortable with your transformation. Do not shrink your growth to keep others comfortable. You are allowed to heal, allowed to mature, allowed to become wiser, allowed to pursue peace, allowed to build a healthier future. And hear me clearly tonight, you are not too late. Some of you secretly believe life passed you by already. You compare your timeline to everyone else and feel behind. But purpose does not disappear because your journey unfolded differently than expected. You are still becoming, still growing, still learning, still rebuilding, and there is still time for beautiful things to happen in your life. The door opening before. You may not look exactly how you imagined it years ago, but sometimes the life I prepare for you becomes greater than the plans you originally created for yourself. Trust the process even when you cannot fully see the outcome yet. Walk forward even when your confidence still feels fragile. Pray even when emotions feel tired. Continue building even after disappointment. Small, faithful steps create powerful transformation over time. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit today, type, "I am ready for new doors," in the comments as a declaration that you are willing to step into the new season, being prepared for your life. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead are designed to strengthen your faith, rebuild your confidence, heal your heart, and guide you toward the future waiting ahead of you. Remember this deeply tonight. Some doors had to close because your destiny required a different path. Say amen if you believe new beginnings are entering your life now. Listen to me closely tonight, because something is shifting in your life that you cannot fully see yet. You have spent so much time waiting that part of you became emotionally tired. You waited for answers, waited for healing, waited for opportunities, waited for peace, waited for things to finally change. And after carrying disappointment for so long, you slowly stopped expecting anything good to happen anymore. But today I am telling you clearly, your season of endless waiting is coming to an end. Do not leave this message now, because what you hear tonight can help prepare your spirit for the changes ahead. Some of you became so familiar with struggle that peace now feels unfamiliar. You became used to surviving instead of truly living. You became used to disappointment instead of expectation. You became used to carrying burdens instead of believing breakthrough was possible. But I did not create you to remain trapped in survival forever. There is more ahead for your life than constant exhaustion, more ahead than fear, more ahead than emotional heaviness, more ahead than repeating the same painful cycles over and over again. The waiting season was not meaningless. Even though it frustrated you, growth was happening inside you during that time. You learned patience, you learned endurance, you learned discernment, you learned how to survive difficult seasons without completely losing yourself. And while you thought nothing was happening, I was aligning things behind the scenes in ways you could not yet understand. My child, many people want immediate blessings without preparation. But if certain opportunities had arrived too early, they would have crushed you instead of helping you. Some of the delay protected you from situations your spirit was not ready to carry yet. You thought life was punishing you, but often, life was preparing you. There were lessons you needed before entering your next chapter. There was healing you needed before receiving certain relationships. There was wisdom you needed before handling greater responsibility. There was emotional growth required before certain doors could safely open. Do not mistake preparation for rejection. Some of you became angry because your timeline looked different from everyone around you. You watched others move forward while you remained waiting. You saw people celebrating milestones while you silently battled discouragement. And secretly, comparison started damaging your confidence. But hear me clearly tonight. Your journey was never meant to look identical to everyone else's. Different assignments require different timing. Some people bloom quickly, others bloom deeply. Do not confuse speed with purpose. What takes longer to build often becomes stronger in the end. I know waiting exhausted your heart sometimes. There were moments when you almost stopped praying because disappointment hurt too much. You feared hoping again because previous hope ended painfully. You became emotionally guarded because repeated delays weakened your confidence. But do not allow temporary seasons to permanently shape your identity. You are not forgotten because things moved slowly. You are not abandoned because answers took time. You are not failing because life unfolded differently than expected. Growth is still happening even when progress feels invisible. And listen carefully, because this matters deeply for your future. The season ahead requires a different mindset from you. You cannot enter new blessings while carrying constant negativity. Some of you became so used to expecting disappointment that you now struggle to recognize possibility when it appears. Stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Stop expecting every situation to fail before it even begins. Stop preparing emotionally for disaster every day. Faith grows when you begin expecting goodness again. You also need to stop carrying the emotional weight of old seasons into your future. Some of you are still mentally living inside pain that should have already been released. You replay betrayal repeatedly. You relive rejection constantly. You revisit old failures until discouragement becomes familiar. But healing requires letting go. You cannot move freely into new chapters while dragging old emotional chains behind you. The waiting season taught you many lessons, but do not remain trapped there forever. There is movement ahead now. There is opportunity ahead now. There is restoration ahead now. And there is peace ahead that your heart desperately needs. I know you became tired of trying sometimes. Life felt repetitive. Certain battles seemed endless. You prayed for change while everything around you looked the same. But remember this deeply tonight. Visible change often happens after long periods of invisible preparation. Seeds remain underground before growth becomes visible. And many of you are closer to breakthrough than you realize. Do not quit now. Do not surrender now. Do not allow discouragement to stop you right before new doors begin opening. Continue showing up. Continue praying. Continue rebuilding. Continue healing. Continue trusting even when progress feels slow. Small, faithful steps matter more than dramatic, emotional moments. And hear this carefully tonight. The next season of your life cannot be entered with the same fear that controlled your previous season. You must become willing to move forward even when uncertainty still exists. Courage is required for new beginnings. Faith is required for transformation. Discipline is required for lasting growth. Some of you have already survived the hardest part of your story. What once nearly destroyed you is now becoming part of the wisdom shaping your future. You are stronger now, wiser now, more discerning now, more emotionally aware now. And the pain you survived will not be wasted. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type, "My waiting season is over," in the comments as a declaration that you are ready to walk into the new chapter being prepared for your life. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, renew your peace, rebuild your confidence, and guide you toward the future waiting ahead of you. And if these messages are helping encourage and strengthen your spirit, share this video with someone who may be feeling discouraged during their own waiting season. And if you feel led to support this ministry so these words can continue reaching hurting hearts around the world, you can do so through the link given below. Remember this deeply tonight. What felt like endless waiting was often preparation for the life you are now approaching. Say amen. If you believe a new season is beginning for you now, listen to me carefully tonight, because your spirit has been trapped in survival mode for too long. You wake up carrying pressure before the day even begins. Your mind immediately fills with responsibilities, worries, fears, and emotional exhaustion. You keep pushing yourself just to make it through another day. And slowly, without realizing it, you stopped truly living. You became focused only on surviving pain instead of believing joy, peace, purpose, and fulfillment were still possible for your life. But today, I am telling you clearly, you were created for far more than survival. Do not stop listening, because what you hear tonight can help awaken parts of your spirit that have become tired and discouraged. Some of you have been emotionally exhausted for so long that struggle now feels normal. You became used to carrying heaviness, used to expecting disappointment, used to functioning while secretly hurting inside, used to giving everything to everyone else while neglecting your own healing. But I did not create you simply to endure endless stress. I did not place purpose inside you just so you could spend your life emotionally drained. I did not carry you through painful seasons so you would remain trapped in fear forever. There is still life ahead of you, still peace ahead of you, still healing ahead of you, still purpose waiting to unfold through your journey. My child, surviving difficult seasons made you strong, but survival was never meant to become your permanent identity. Some of you became so focused on protecting yourselves from future pain that you stopped allowing yourselves to hope again. You stopped dreaming boldly. You stopped trusting fully. You stopped expecting beautiful things from life because disappointment happened too many times before. But fear cannot become the ruler of your future. Pain taught you lessons, but pain was never meant to become your home. You cannot build a peaceful future while constantly preparing for disaster every day. Some of you wake up already expecting things to go wrong. You assume rejection before opportunities even arrive. You expect betrayal before people even prove themselves. Your mind automatically prepares for loss because previous seasons wounded you deeply. But hear me clearly tonight. Your past pain does not have permission to control your future forever. You survived hard seasons, but those seasons were not meant to imprison your spirit permanently. Healing requires learning how to live again, learning how to trust carefully again, learning how to breathe peacefully again, learning how to hope again. And yes, healing takes time. Some wounds cut deeply. Some disappointments change the way you see yourself. Some betrayals affected your confidence in ways others never understood. But even now, I am still rebuilding strength inside you, little by little. You are not as broken as fear keeps telling you. You are growing stronger, even when progress feels slow. And listen carefully, because this next truth matters deeply. Many people lose themselves while trying to survive everyone else's expectations. They spend years trying to please people who remain impossible to satisfy. They ignore their emotional needs just to avoid disappointing others. They sacrifice their peace trying to earn acceptance. But peace cannot grow where people-pleasing controls your life. Some of you need healthier boundaries. Some of you need rest. Some of you need to stop carrying responsibilities that were never yours to carry alone. You cannot continue pouring endlessly into others while your own soul remains empty. I know some of you feel guilty whenever you slow down. You believe rest means weakness. You believe taking care of yourself means selfishness. But exhaustion is not a badge of honor. Your emotional, spiritual, and mental health matter too. Rest is necessary. Healing is necessary. Peace is necessary. You also need to stop defining success only through external achievements. Some of you secretly feel worthless because your life does not currently look the way you imagined years ago. You compare yourself constantly to others and quietly feel behind. But your value was never meant to depend entirely on money, titles, relationships, popularity, or public recognition. Your worth existed before achievements ever arrived. You matter because of who you are, not just because of what you accomplish. And hear this carefully tonight. Purpose is often built through ordinary, daily faithfulness. Some people think purpose only exists in dramatic moments, but many meaningful lives are built quietly through kindness, discipline, consistency, wisdom, healing, patience, and perseverance. Do not underestimate small, faithful steps. Every time you continue despite fear, growth happens. Every time you choose healing over bitterness, growth happens. Every time you protect your peace instead of feeding chaos, growth happens. Every time you refuse to quit, growth happens. And some of you need to stop waiting until life becomes perfect before allowing yourselves to feel joy again. You keep telling yourself, I will finally be happy when everything changes. But peace does not come only from perfect circumstances. Peace also grows from gratitude, perspective, healing, and trust. There are still beautiful moments available in your life right now. Do not let fear blind you to them. Do not let overthinking steal them. Do not let emotional exhaustion make you miss them. The season ahead requires a healthier version of you emotionally. You cannot continue surviving while neglecting your inner life. Spend time rebuilding your spirit. Spend time healing your thoughts. Spend time reconnecting with peace instead of constantly feeding pressure. You were not created to live permanently overwhelmed. You were not created to remain trapped in anxiety. You were not created only to survive pain. You were created to grow, to heal, to love, to learn, to become wiser, to experience peace, and to walk forward with renewed strength. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type, "I am meant for more" in the comments as a declaration that survival will no longer define your future. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead are designed to strengthen your faith, renew your peace, rebuild your confidence, and guide you toward the life you were created to live. Remember this deeply tonight. Surviving the storm was only the beginning. Now it is time for you to truly live again. Say amen. If you believe healing, peace, and purpose are rising inside your life now, listen to me carefully tonight, because many of the battles exhausting your life are happening inside your thoughts long before they appear anywhere else. Your mind has carried too much fear, too much pressure, too much overthinking, and too much emotional weight for too long. You smile in front of people while privately fighting thoughts that drain your peace every single day. Some nights, your body feels tired, but your mind refuses to rest. Some mornings you wake up already anxious before the day even begins. But tonight I am telling you clearly, the battle inside your mind cannot continue controlling your life forever. Do not stop listening, because this message may help free your spirit from patterns that have silently weakened you for years. The enemy understands something many people ignore. If your thoughts remain trapped in fear long enough, your emotions eventually become exhausted. That is why so many attacks came against your confidence. That is why discouragement repeatedly entered your thoughts. That is why hopelessness kept whispering that nothing would ever change. But those thoughts are not your master. Fear does not own your future. Anxiety does not decide your destiny. And overthinking does not create peace. My child, you have spent too much time believing every fearful thought that entered your mind. Not every thought deserves agreement. Some thoughts are distractions designed to weaken your spirit. Some thoughts come from old wounds that never fully healed. Some thoughts come from exhaustion, disappointment, loneliness, or emotional pain. But just because a thought enters your mind does not mean it speaks truth about your life. You keep replaying worst-case scenarios before situations even happen. You prepare emotionally for rejection before anyone responds. You expect disappointment before opportunities fully unfold. And slowly, without realizing it, your mind became trained to search for danger instead of peace. But I did not create you to live trapped in constant mental warfare. There is a difference between wisdom and fear. Wisdom helps you move carefully. Fear keeps you frozen completely. Wisdom protects your future. Fear destroys your confidence before growth even begins. And tonight, I need you to stop feeding fear every day through your habits, your words, your environment, and your thinking patterns. Some of you consume negativity constantly. You surround yourselves with stressful conversations, toxic people, endless comparison, unhealthy distractions, and fear-filled thinking. Then you wonder why your spirit feels heavy. Protect your atmosphere carefully. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every voice deserves influence over your emotions. Not every opinion deserves space inside your spirit. There are people who speak from bitterness because they never healed themselves. If you absorb every fearful or negative word spoken around you, peace will become difficult to maintain. You must become intentional about what enters your mind daily. Spend more time feeding faith than feeding panic. Spend more time rebuilding than worrying. Spend more time praying than imagining disaster. And hear me carefully now, your mind needs rest too. Some of you carry emotional pressure every waking moment. You think constantly about responsibilities, problems, future uncertainty, past mistakes, and fears about what might happen next. Your spirit became exhausted because your thoughts never slowed down long enough for peace to grow. But peace grows in stillness. Peace grows in trust. Peace grows when you stop trying to control every possible outcome. Some situations are beyond your control, but they are never beyond mine. You keep carrying burdens you were never meant to carry alone. You replay painful memories repeatedly, as if punishing yourself will somehow change the past. You revisit old conversations. You relive betrayal. You reopen wounds through constant overthinking. But healing cannot fully happen while your mind keeps returning to the same painful places every day. Release what is already behind you. You cannot move forward while mentally living in old pain forever. And stop speaking negatively over yourself. Some of you destroy your own confidence through your daily thoughts. You call yourselves weak, unworthy, unattractive, forgotten, damaged, or incapable. Then after repeating those thoughts long enough, you begin believing them completely. Be careful how you speak about yourself. Your spirit listens. When you continually speak hopelessness, discouragement grows stronger. But when you begin speaking healing, growth, strength, peace, and faith, transformation slowly begins happening internally. Say, I will heal. Say, I will grow. Say, I will not stay trapped forever. Say, peace is returning to my life. Words matter deeply. I also need you to understand this truth tonight. Some battles are not solved through panic. They are solved through patience, wisdom, discipline, prayer, and consistent effort. Some of you keep searching for instant emotional relief while avoiding the daily habits necessary for healing. Healing often happens gradually, through rest, through healthy boundaries, through forgiveness, through emotional honesty, through changing thought patterns, through learning to trust again, little by little, and through refusing to give fear permanent authority over your future. I know there were moments when your mind became so heavy you felt emotionally exhausted from fighting invisible battles. But hear me clearly tonight. You are stronger than the thoughts trying to break your peace. You already survived seasons that once felt impossible. You already overcame battles that once made you feel weak. And even now, strength is still growing inside you. Do not quit during the rebuilding process. Do not surrender your future because your current emotions feel heavy. This difficult season will not last forever. And the peace you are searching for is still possible. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type, "My mind will have peace," in the comments as a declaration that fear and overthinking will no longer control your life. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, renew your thoughts, rebuild your confidence, and help guide you into emotional healing and spiritual peace. Remember this deeply tonight. The battle in your mind may have been intense, but the peace I am building within you will become stronger than the fear trying to control you. Say amen if you believe peace and clarity are entering your mind now. Listen to me carefully tonight, because your heart has been wounded by disappointment more times than you admit to people around you. You learned how to protect yourself emotionally because too many situations hurt you deeply. Too many promises were broken. Too many people changed unexpectedly. Too many moments left you questioning whether trust was even safe anymore. And slowly, without realizing it, you began building walls around your heart just to avoid feeling pain again. But tonight I am telling you clearly, I am teaching you how to trust again. Do not stop listening, because this message may help heal places inside your spirit that fear has controlled for years. Some of you became so used to disappointment that you now expect it automatically. You prepare for betrayal before relationships even grow. You expect failure before opportunities fully begin. You assume people will leave before they even prove themselves. And while those reactions may have developed from pain, they are also preventing peace from fully entering your life. My child, pain can teach wisdom, but pain should never become the ruler of your future. Yes, some people broke your trust. Yes, some situations damaged your confidence. Yes, some seasons left emotional scars that still affect you. But your life cannot move forward properly if fear controls every relationship, every opportunity, and every decision. You were not created to live permanently guarded, suspicious, and emotionally exhausted. There is still healing available for your heart. There is still goodness ahead of you. There are still healthy connections ahead that will strengthen your spirit instead of breaking it. But first, you must stop believing that every future chapter will repeat the pain of previous seasons. Not everyone who enters your life carries the same intentions as those who hurt you before. Not every opportunity will collapse. Not every prayer will remain unanswered forever. Not every ending means disaster is coming next. Fear has trained many of you to expect darkness even while light is beginning to appear. And tonight, I need you to understand something deeply. Trust does not mean ignoring wisdom. Trust does not mean pretending pain never happened. Trust means refusing to let past wounds permanently destroy your ability to move forward. There is a difference between wisdom and emotional imprisonment. Wisdom learns from pain. Fear becomes trapped by pain. Some of you have become emotionally stuck because you keep revisiting old wounds instead of healing from them. You replay betrayal repeatedly in your mind. You relive rejection daily. You think constantly about what went wrong. And every time you mentally return there, the pain gains fresh power over your emotions again. But healing cannot fully happen while you continually reopen old wounds. You must release what no longer belongs in your future. And hear me carefully tonight. Some of you secretly believe your heart will never feel whole again. You smile publicly while privately carrying emotional heaviness. You continue functioning outwardly while inwardly feeling tired, guarded, and uncertain about the future. But you are not beyond healing. You are not too damaged to experience peace again. You are not too broken to rebuild your confidence again. And you are not too late to discover joy again. The difficult seasons you survived did not destroy your value. They revealed your resilience. Look at everything you endured. You survived moments that almost crushed your spirit completely. You survived nights when your thoughts became overwhelming. You survived heartbreak that changed you deeply. And despite all of it, you are still standing. That strength matters. But now it is time for survival to become healing. It is time for fear to stop controlling every step you take. It is time to stop assuming the worst about your future before it even unfolds. I also need you to trust yourself more wisely. Some of you lost confidence in your own judgment because previous choices brought pain. You now question every decision constantly because fear of making mistakes became overwhelming. But hear this clearly tonight. Mistakes are part of growth. No human being learns perfectly. No journey unfolds without lessons. Stop punishing yourself endlessly for not knowing then what you know now. You learned. You matured. You became wiser. And growth often comes through experiences you once wished never happened. Do not let shame destroy the wisdom your healing produced. And stop expecting yourself to become emotionally fearless overnight. Healing usually happens gradually. Trust often returns slowly. Confidence rebuilds through consistent small steps, not instant transformation. One healthy choice at a time. One honest prayer at a time. One peaceful moment at a time. One step forward at a time. That is how healing grows. And tonight I also need you to stop carrying the burden of controlling everything. Some of you constantly overthink because you are terrified of future pain. You try predicting every possible outcome. You replay every conversation searching for hidden danger. Your mind became exhausted because fear convinced you that constant worry equals protection. But constant fear is not protection. It is emotional captivity. Peace grows when you learn to trust me with what you cannot fully control. You are not carrying your future alone. You are not rebuilding your life alone, and you are not facing tomorrow alone. There is guidance available for you, strength available for you, wisdom available for you. But fear becomes quieter only when faith becomes stronger. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type "I will trust again" in the comments as a declaration that fear and past pain will no longer control your future. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, heal your heart, rebuild your confidence, and guide you toward peace, wisdom, and emotional restoration. Remember this deeply tonight. The pain you experienced may have wounded your heart, but it does not have permission to destroy your future forever. Say amen. If you believe healing and trust are returning to your life now, listen to me carefully tonight, because there is something your heart needs to understand about every painful season you survived. You spent so much time asking why certain things happened to you, why people betrayed you, why opportunities disappeared, why prayers seemed delayed, why disappointment followed seasons where you gave your best effort. And many nights you quietly wondered whether all the pain had any meaning at all. But tonight I am telling you clearly, your pain was never meaningless. Do not stop listening, because this message can help transform the way you see your entire journey. Some of the hardest seasons of your life were also shaping the deepest wisdom within you. The battles you survived were teaching lessons that comfort alone could never teach. Pain changed you, but pain also taught you. It taught you who truly cared about your heart. It taught you how valuable peace really is. It taught you discernment when appearances became deceptive. It taught you resilience when life became heavy. And even though you would never choose those painful moments again, some of your greatest growth was born inside those difficult seasons. My child, many people only want blessings, but they do not understand the wisdom often produced through struggle. Some lessons can only be learned through pressure. Some maturity only develops through waiting. Some strength only appears after survival. You became wiser because life forced you to see things differently. You learned not everyone who smiles at you carries pure intentions. You learned that temporary emotions can create permanent consequences if wisdom is ignored. You learned that peace matters more than constant approval from people. You learned that protecting your spirit is necessary. And now, because of what you survived, your discernment has become stronger. But hear me carefully tonight. Do not become bitter because of the pain that taught you wisdom. There is a difference between wisdom and hardness. Wisdom protects your peace. Bitterness poisons your peace. Some people go through painful seasons and become emotionally cold forever. They stop trusting, stop hoping, stop loving, stop believing in good things because disappointment wounded them deeply. But I do not want pain to turn your heart into stone. I want your pain to become wisdom, not permanent fear. You can become wiser without becoming cruel. You can become stronger without losing compassion. You can protect your peace without shutting your heart completely. And listen carefully, because many of you need this reminder tonight. Stop hating yourself for mistakes made during seasons when you were still emotionally wounded, confused, or immature. You keep replaying old failures in your mind as if punishing yourself repeatedly will somehow rewrite the past. But shame will not heal you. Growth heals you. Wisdom heals you. Honesty heals you. Learning heals you. You are not the same person you were years ago. You have grown. You have matured. You see life differently now. And some of the wisdom you carry today only exists because you survived painful seasons before. Stop allowing guilt to blind you from your growth. There are people listening right now who secretly feel embarrassed by parts of their story. They wish certain chapters never happened. They wish they could erase mistakes, heartbreak, emotional breakdowns, failures, and disappointments from their past completely. But hear me clearly tonight, your story still carries value, even the painful parts. One day, your wisdom will help someone else survive their own difficult season. One day, your testimony will encourage someone who feels hopeless. One day, the lessons you learned through suffering will become guidance for others searching for strength. Nothing you survived will be wasted if you allow healing and wisdom to grow from it. I also need you to stop running from every difficult experience immediately. Some of you avoid growth because discomfort scares you. But growth often feels uncomfortable before it becomes rewarding. Discipline feels difficult before results appear. Healing feels painful before peace fully returns. Change feels uncertain before clarity develops. Do not quit simply because growth feels uncomfortable. You are becoming stronger than you realize. And tonight, I need you to understand something deeply important. Wisdom is not only about knowing what is right. Wisdom is also about knowing what steals your peace. Some of you already know certain habits, environments, relationships, and thought patterns are damaging your emotional health. Yet you continue returning to them repeatedly. But wisdom requires action. You cannot keep feeding chaos while praying for peace. You cannot keep ignoring boundaries while asking for healing. You cannot keep entertaining negativity while asking for clarity. Growth happens when wisdom becomes practice instead of just knowledge. And hear this carefully tonight. Stop comparing your journey to people who never walked through your battles. Some people criticize your healing process because they never experienced the weight you carried. Others judge your boundaries because they benefited from your lack of them before. But healing changes people. Pain teaches people. Wisdom transforms people. And you are allowed to become different after surviving what you survived. Do not apologize for protecting your peace now. Do not feel guilty for becoming more discerning. Do not feel the shame for needing rest, healing, or distance from unhealthy environments. The season ahead requires wisdom stronger than emotion, and many of the lessons pain taught you are preparing you for that future now. You are not weak because difficult seasons affected you deeply. You are human, but you are also growing stronger every time you choose healing over bitterness, wisdom over impulse, and peace over chaos. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type "My pain created wisdom" in the comments as a declaration that your difficult seasons will not be wasted. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, renew your peace, rebuild your confidence, and guide you toward emotional healing and spiritual growth. Remember this deeply tonight. The pain you survived was not sent to destroy you. It was shaping wisdom that will strengthen your future. Say amen. If you believe healing, growth, and wisdom are rising inside your life now, listen to me carefully tonight, because this message is reaching you during a season where restoration is beginning quietly inside your life. You have carried brokenness for so long that part of you started believing nothing could ever truly heal again. Certain disappointments wounded your confidence deeply. Certain betrayals damaged your ability to trust. Certain losses left empty spaces in your heart that nobody around you fully understood. But tonight, I am telling you clearly, I am restoring what pain tried to destroy inside you. Do not leave this message now, because what you hear tonight can strengthen your spirit for the next chapter of your life. The enemy wanted you to believe your brokenness would become permanent. He wanted you to think your story ended in disappointment, fear, exhaustion, and emotional heaviness. But your life is not ending in ruins. Restoration is already beginning, even if you cannot fully see it yet, even if healing feels slow, even if some wounds still ache sometimes. I am rebuilding things inside you little by little. My child, restoration does not always happen the way people expect. Sometimes people pray for immediate transformation, while healing actually begins quietly within the heart first. Before external changes appear, Internal strength often begins growing again. Your confidence starts returning. Your peace slowly increases. Your thinking becomes healthier. Your boundaries become stronger. Your discernment becomes clearer. And suddenly you realize you are no longer reacting the same way you once did. That is restoration too. Some of you are waiting only for visible miracles while ignoring the healing already happening within your spirit right now. Look at how much stronger you have become. There were seasons when certain pain almost destroyed you completely. Yet now, you are still standing. There were nights when you thought you would never recover emotionally, yet healing slowly continued anyway. There were moments when fear controlled your thoughts constantly, yet now wisdom is growing where panic once lived. Do not ignore your progress simply because perfection has not arrived yet. Healing often happens gradually. And hear me carefully tonight. Stop calling yourself permanently broken because difficult seasons changed you. Yes, pain affected your heart. Yes, certain experiences left scars. But scars are not proof that healing failed. Scars are proof that survival happened. You survived. You endured. You kept going even while emotionally exhausted. And now your story is becoming one of restoration instead of destruction. I also need you to stop believing that what you lost can never be replaced. Some people became so focused on what left their lives that they can no longer recognize what is still possible ahead of them. They keep mourning old seasons while new opportunities quietly wait nearby. But your future still carries beauty, still carries peace, still carries meaningful relationships, still carries purpose, still carries joy. Do not let previous disappointment blind you from future possibilities. There are blessings ahead that your current pain cannot yet fully imagine. And tonight, I need you to understand something deeply important. Restoration requires release. Some of you keep asking for healing while refusing to let go of bitterness, shame, fear, guilt, or unhealthy attachments. But restoration cannot fully grow where emotional poison continues living. Release the resentment. Release the self-hatred. Release the constant replaying of painful memories. Release the belief that your best days are already behind you. You cannot move into restoration while mentally remaining trapped inside destruction. I know some of you secretly feel tired of rebuilding. Life hurt you repeatedly, and now trusting the process again feels difficult. You became emotionally cautious because previous hope ended painfully. You fear disappointment returning if you allow yourself to believe in good things again. But hear me clearly tonight. Not every future chapter will repeat your past suffering. Some seasons are for surviving, some seasons are for healing, and some seasons are for rebuilding stronger than before. You are entering a rebuilding season now. That does not mean every day will suddenly become easy. Growth still requires patience. Healing still requires discipline. Peace still requires wisdom. But you are no longer where you used to be emotionally, and the future ahead of you is not empty. I also want you to stop comparing your restoration journey to everyone else around you. Some people heal quickly in certain areas while struggling deeply in others. Every heart carries different wounds. Every person heals differently. Do not shame yourself because your process takes time. Do not rush healing just to satisfy outside expectations. Allow yourself space to rebuild properly. Strong foundations matter more than rushed appearances. And hear this carefully tonight. Your value was never destroyed by what happened to you. Some people treated you as if your worth depended on your usefulness, your perfection, your success, or your ability to please them constantly. But your worth existed long before they entered your life. You are valuable because I created you with purpose, not because everyone understood you, not because life unfolded perfectly, not because you never struggled. Your identity is deeper than your wounds, and restoration is not only about recovering what was lost, Sometimes restoration also means becoming wiser, stronger, healthier, and more peaceful than before the pain ever happened. Some of you will eventually realize that healing produced a stronger version of you than comfort ever could have created. The waiting taught patience. The heartbreak taught discernment. The loneliness taught dependence on peace instead of constant approval. And now wisdom is growing where pain once ruled. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type "Restoration is happening" in the comments as a declaration that healing, peace, and rebuilding are entering your life now. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, renew your peace, rebuild your confidence, and guide you toward emotional healing and spiritual growth. And if these messages are helping strengthen your heart during difficult seasons, share this video with someone who may need encouragement tonight. And if you feel led to support this ministry and help these messages continue reaching people searching for hope and healing, you can do so through the link given below. Remember this deeply tonight. What pain tried to break inside you is being restored with greater wisdom, strength, and peace than before. Say amen if you believe restoration is already beginning in your life. Listen to me carefully tonight, because there is something heavy you have been carrying for far too long. You have carried old pain into new seasons. You have carried old disappointments into new opportunities. You have carried old fears into new relationships. And slowly, without realizing it, yesterday's wounds began controlling tomorrow's possibilities. But tonight, I am telling you clearly, you cannot move freely into your future while dragging the weight of your past behind you. Do not stop listening, because this message can help release emotional burdens that have followed your spirit for years. Some of you became so attached to painful memories that you now expect life to repeat the same suffering over and over again. You assume heartbreak before love even has a chance. You expect failure before opportunities fully begin. You prepare emotionally for rejection before people even reveal their intentions. And while those reactions may come from previous pain, they are also preventing peace from fully entering your life. My child, the past may explain certain fears, but it should not imprison your future forever. Yes, difficult seasons changed you. Yes, some experiences wounded your confidence. Yes, some people left scars on your heart. But your story does not end where pain happened. There is still life ahead of you, still growth ahead of you, still healing ahead of you, still purpose waiting in front of you. Yet many of you continue living emotionally inside chapters that already ended. You replay old conversations repeatedly. You revisit painful memories constantly. You think about what you should have said, what you should have done differently, or how things could have turned out another way. But no amount of replaying yesterday can create peace for today. You cannot heal while constantly reopening emotional wounds. And hear me carefully tonight. Some of you are carrying guilt that no longer belongs in your life. You continue punishing yourselves for mistakes that already taught their lessons. You define your identity through your worst moments instead of through your growth. Shame became so familiar that you no longer recognize how much stronger and wiser you have actually become. But you are not the same person you used to be. You learned, you matured, you became more aware, you survived things that changed your perspective completely. Stop treating yourself like someone who never grew. There is grace for your process. And tonight, I also need you to stop carrying old labels into your future. Some people spoke words over your life during painful seasons, and without realizing it, you started believing them. They called you weak, difficult, unworthy, broken, or incapable. And slowly, those labels attached themselves to your confidence. But people's opinions were never meant to become your identity. Do not carry their bitterness into your future. Do not carry their rejection into your purpose. Do not carry their misunderstandings into your self-worth. You are more than what others fail to recognize in you. I know letting go feels difficult sometimes. Pain becomes strangely familiar after long seasons of carrying it. Some people hold on to old wounds because they fear who they would become without them. Others keep revisiting painful memories because pain became part of their identity. But healing requires release. You cannot carry emotional chains forever and still expect freedom to grow inside your spirit. And hear this carefully tonight. Letting go does not mean pretending nothing happened. It means refusing to allow previous pain to continue controlling your future decisions, emotions, and identity. You are allowed to move forward, allowed to heal, allowed to experience peace again, allowed to become stronger than your past, and some of you need to stop carrying fear into every new opportunity. You sabotage possibilities before they even begin because disappointment once hurt too deeply. You expect every situation to collapse because previous chapters ended painfully. But your past is not your prophecy. Not every person will betray you. Not every opportunity will fail. Not every season will repeat the same suffering. Fear wants you emotionally trapped in survival mode forever. But survival is not the final purpose for your life. There is rebuilding ahead. There is joy ahead. There is clarity ahead. There are healthier relationships ahead. There are open doors ahead. And there is peace waiting for the version of you willing to release yesterday's weight. I also need you to stop carrying comparison into your future. Some of you secretly feel behind in life because your journey unfolded differently than expected. You compare your timeline to everyone around you and quietly feel discouraged. But comparison steals gratitude, peace, and confidence from your spirit. Your path is different because your growth is different. Some people bloom quickly, others bloom deeply. Do not confuse delay with failure, and stop carrying emotional exhaustion into every new day. Some of you wake up already burdened because your mind immediately returns to stress, fear, pressure, and old pain. Your spirit became tired because you never truly allowed yourself to rest emotionally. Rest matters. Peace matters. Healing matters. You cannot keep carrying everything alone. And tonight I need you to understand something deeply important. The next chapter of your life requires a lighter spirit. You cannot step fully into new opportunities while constantly holding on to old bitterness, guilt, regret, fear, and emotional heaviness. Release what no longer belongs in your future. Release relationships that constantly destroy your peace. Release thinking patterns that weaken your confidence. Release the belief that your best days are already behind you. You are still growing, still rebuilding, still healing, still becoming stronger, and the future ahead of you still carries purpose. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type, "I am letting go of the past," in the comments as a declaration that yesterday's pain will no longer control tomorrow's possibilities. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, renew your peace, rebuild your confidence, and guide you toward emotional healing and spiritual growth. Remember this deeply tonight. Your future deserves a healed version of you, not a version forever chained to yesterday's pain. Say amen. If you believe freedom, healing, and peace are entering your life now, listen to me carefully tonight, because some of you secretly believe your future has already been ruined. Life did not unfold the way you expected. Certain dreams collapsed, certain people left, certain prayers seemed unanswered for so long that discouragement slowly entered your spirit. And now, even though you continue moving forward outwardly, part of you quietly wonders whether the future you once hoped for still exists at all. But tonight I am telling you clearly, the future I prepared for you still exists. Do not stop listening, because this message can rebuild hope inside areas of your heart that disappointment tried to destroy. The enemy wanted you to believe your mistakes canceled your destiny. He wanted you to think your pain permanently disqualified you from peace, joy, success, love, and purpose. But your story is not over. Because certain chapters became difficult, you are still here for a reason. There is still purpose attached to your life, still opportunities ahead of you, still growth waiting for you, still healing unfolding within you, and still doors that can open in ways you do not yet fully understand. My child, many people lose hope because they confuse delays with destruction. They assume that because things took longer than expected, nothing meaningful can still happen. But timing changing does not mean purpose dead appeared. Some things had to break apart before stronger foundations could be built. Some people had to leave before healthier connections could arrive. Some dreams had to change shape before they could align with the future prepared for you. And yes, some painful seasons were necessary to develop wisdom inside you that comfort alone never could have created. You keep focusing on what did not happen while forgetting how much survival already revealed your strength. Look at everything you overcame. You survived emotional battles nobody fully understood. You survived disappointment that almost weakened your faith completely. You survived seasons where your heart felt exhausted from carrying invisible burdens. And despite everything, you are still standing. That means your purpose is still alive. And hear me carefully tonight, stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Some of you have repeated negative thoughts for so long that discouragement now feels normal. You automatically expect failure before opportunities begin. You expect rejection before people respond. You assume your best days are already behind you, but your words matter deeply. What you repeatedly speak shapes your emotional atmosphere. When you continually say, "Nothing will ever change," hopelessness grows stronger inside your spirit. But when you begin speaking life, faith, healing, growth, and possibility, something inside you slowly begins rebuilding again. Say, "My future still matters." Say, "Better days are still ahead." Say, "I am not finished." Say, "My life still carries purpose." Even small declarations of faith matter during difficult seasons. I also need you to stop comparing your journey to everyone else around you. Some people appear successful publicly while privately battling emptiness. Others seem ahead temporarily but lack peace internally. Stop measuring your worth by someone else's timeline. Your path is different because your assignment is different. Some people bloom quickly, others bloom after deeper preparation. Do not mistake slower growth for failure. And tonight, I need you to release the belief that your mistakes permanently ruined everything. Some of you still carry shame from old decisions. You replay moments you wish you could change. You wonder how life would look if you had chosen differently years ago. But hear me clearly tonight. Your mistakes are not stronger than my ability to restore, rebuild, and redirect your life. You learned from pain. You became wiser through failure. You matured through consequences. And growth often begins through lessons people never wanted to experience. Stop defining yourself only by your lowest moments. There is still goodness inside you, still strength inside you, still purpose ahead of you. And there is still time for your life to become meaningful in ways you cannot yet fully imagine. I know some of you became emotionally tired from rebuilding repeatedly. Every time you tried moving forward, another disappointment seemed to appear, and eventually you became afraid to hope again because previous hope ended painfully. But do not let fear destroy your willingness to believe in tomorrow. You cannot fully step into new seasons while constantly expecting disaster. There are opportunities ahead that fear would make you miss. There are blessings ahead that hopelessness would make you overlook. There are relationships ahead that healing will help you recognize properly. And there is peace ahead for the version of you willing to keep moving forward despite uncertainty. The future prepared for you may not look exactly like the plans you imagined years ago. But sometimes, the life ahead becomes greater than the life you originally expected because wisdom, healing, and maturity changed your perspective. Trust the process even when the full picture remains unclear. Continue growing even when progress feels slow. Continue rebuilding even after disappointment. Continue praying even when emotions feel weak. Do not quit during the transformation process. And hear this carefully tonight. Your future is not being built only through dramatic moments. It is also being built through daily choices, daily discipline, daily healing, daily wisdom, daily perseverance. Every time you choose peace over chaos, your future improves. Every time you choose healing over bitterness, your future improves. Every time you refuse to surrender to hopelessness, your future becomes stronger. Small, faithful steps matter more than you realize. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type, "My future still has purpose." In the comments is a declaration that disappointment will no longer destroy your hope, and continue staying until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, renew your peace, rebuild your confidence, and guide you toward emotional healing and spiritual growth. Remember this deeply tonight. Delays, mistakes, heartbreak, and painful seasons may have changed parts of your story, but they never canceled the future I prepared for your life. Say amen. If you believe your best days are still ahead of you, listen to me carefully tonight, because many of the struggles exhausting your spirit are happening because fear has been guiding your decisions for too long. Fear has shaped the way you think, the way you respond, the way you trust, and the way you see your future. It has convinced you to expect disappointment before opportunities even begin. It has made you hesitate when you should move forward. It has made you doubt yourself even after surviving battles that should have already proven your strength. But tonight I am telling you clearly, it is time for you to walk by faith instead of fear. Do not stop listening, because this message can help shift the direction of your life. Some of you have spent years trying to protect yourselves from pain, but in the process, you also stopped allowing yourselves to fully live. You became emotionally guarded. You became hesitant to dream again. You became afraid to trust, afraid to try, afraid to hope, and afraid to believe good things could still happen for you. But fear was never meant to become the voice leading your future. My child, fear always focuses on what could go wrong. Faith focuses on what is still possible. Fear keeps replaying yesterday's wounds. Faith believes healing can still happen. Fear expects rejection before love even arrives. Faith believes restoration is still available. And tonight, I need you to understand something deeply important. Walking by faith does not mean pretending fear never exists. Faith means refusing to let fear make every decision for you. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is continuing forward even when uncertainty still exists. Some of you are waiting to feel completely confident before taking action, but confidence often grows after obedience begins. You will not always see the entire path before taking the next step. Sometimes clarity comes while moving, not while hiding. You have already spent enough years trapped in hesitation, enough years doubting yourself, enough years expecting failure, enough years shrinking your dreams because previous disappointment hurt too deeply. But your future still carries possibility, and fear cannot be allowed to steal it from you anymore. I know life wounded your confidence. Certain seasons taught you to expect pain instead of peace. Some prayers felt delayed for so long that hopelessness slowly entered your thoughts. You became tired emotionally, tired mentally, tired spiritually. And after carrying disappointment for so long, faith started feeling difficult. But hear me clearly tonight. Difficult seasons were never meant to destroy your ability to believe again. You survived too much already to quit now. Look at how far you have come. You survived heartbreak that almost broke your spirit completely. You survived nights filled with anxiety and overthinking. You survived loneliness, rejection, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion. And despite everything, you are still here. That means there is still purpose ahead of you. There is still growth ahead of you. Still healing ahead of you, still open doors waiting ahead of you. But you cannot fully step into those things while fear continues controlling your thoughts every day. And hear this carefully tonight. Some of you have become addicted to worst-case thinking. Your mind automatically prepares for disaster, even during peaceful moments. You expect betrayal before people even reveal their intentions. You assume opportunities will fail before they fully develop. But constant fear does not protect your peace. It destroys it. You cannot build a peaceful future while expecting pain every moment. Faith requires trust, even when everything is not fully visible yet. And tonight, I need you to stop speaking defeat over your future. Some of you repeatedly say things like, "Nothing good ever happens for me," or "My life will never change." But words shape your emotional atmosphere more than you realize. When you continually speak hopelessness, discouragement grows stronger inside your spirit. Instead, begin speaking life. Say, "I will heal." Say, "Better days are ahead." Say, "I am growing stronger." Say, "I refuse to let fear control my future." Faith grows through what you repeatedly believe and speak. I also need you to understand this truth tonight. Fear often keeps people attached to unhealthy situations because familiarity feels safer than change. Some of you remain emotionally stuck because the unknown feels uncomfortable. You keep returning to environments, relationships, habits, and thinking patterns that drain your peace simply because they feel familiar. But familiar pain is still pain. Do not remain trapped somewhere simply because fear tells you change is dangerous. Growth often requires uncomfortable steps. Healing often requires uncomfortable honesty. Transformation often requires leaving behind old patterns. And yes, the next chapter of your life may feel unfamiliar at first. But unfamiliar does not mean wrong. There are blessings ahead that require courage. There are opportunities ahead that require faith. There are healthier relationships ahead that require healing. And there is peace ahead for the version of you willing to stop allowing fear to lead every decision. You are stronger than you think, wiser than you realize, and more prepared than fear keeps telling you. The difficult seasons you survived already built resilience inside you. Now it is time to walk forward with greater trust instead of constant panic. One step at a time, one prayer at a time, one act of courage at a time. That is how faith grows. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type, "I will walk by faith," in the comments as a declaration that fear will no longer control your future. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, renew your peace, rebuild your confidence, and guide you toward emotional healing and spiritual growth. Remember this deeply tonight. Fear may speak loudly sometimes, but faith has the power to carry you further than fear ever could. Say amen. If you believe, courage, peace, and breakthrough are entering your life now. Listen to me carefully tonight, because many of you are waiting for a dramatic sign of healing while ignoring the quiet restoration already happening inside your spirit. You keep looking at what still hurts, instead of recognizing how much progress has already taken place. You focus on the moments you still feel weak, while overlooking the strength you have gained through every battle you survived. But tonight I am telling you clearly, your healing journey has already begun. Do not stop listening, because this message may help you finally recognize the transformation quietly unfolding within your life. Some of you think healing means never feeling pain again. Others think healing means instantly forgetting every wound from the past. But healing is often much deeper than that. Healing happens when your thoughts slowly become healthier. Healing happens when peace begins replacing panic. Healing happens when you stop blaming yourself for everything. Healing happens when old memories no longer control your entire day. Healing happens when wisdom becomes stronger than bitterness. And many of those things are already happening inside you, even if the process feels slower than expected. My child, stop being so hard on yourself during your healing season. Some wounds took years to form. Some disappointments changed your thinking deeply. Some heartbreaks damaged your confidence in ways people around you never fully understood. And now you expect yourself to recover instantly from pain that affected your spirit for years. Be patient with yourself. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Peace takes time. And rebuilding your inner life after difficult seasons is a process, not a race. I know there are still nights when sadness tries to return. I know there are moments when fear still whispers inside your thoughts. I know certain memories still hurt sometimes. But hear me clearly tonight. Temporary emotional struggles do not mean healing failed. You are still growing, still rebuilding, still becoming stronger. And every day you refuse to surrender to hopelessness, healing continues moving forward inside you. There were seasons when your spirit felt completely exhausted. You smiled publicly while privately carrying invisible pain. You tried staying strong while emotionally breaking inside. And eventually you became tired of pretending everything was okay all the time. But I saw every hidden battle, every silent tear, every fearful thought, every lonely night. And even when nobody else understood the depth of your struggle, I remained beside you through all of it. That is why you survived. And now, restoration is beginning in places where pain once ruled your life. You are learning how to protect your peace better, learning how to recognize unhealthy patterns faster, learning how to stop carrying responsibilities that were never yours alone, learning how to rest emotionally instead of constantly living in survival mode. Those changes matter deeply. Do not ignore your growth simply because healing still feels incomplete sometimes. And hear this carefully tonight. Some of you became addicted to emotional survival. You became so used to stress, anxiety, pressure, and overthinking that peace now feels unfamiliar. When calm moments appear, your mind immediately searches for the next problem, because chaos became emotionally normal to you. But peace is not something you should fear. You were created to experience peace too. Not endless exhaustion, not endless emotional heaviness, not endless mental warfare. There is still calm available for your spirit. And tonight, I need you to stop reopening wounds through constant overthinking. Some of you mentally revisit painful seasons every day. You replay betrayal, replay rejection, replay mistakes, replay conversations. And every time you return emotionally to those places, your healing becomes heavier. You cannot move forward while repeatedly living inside old pain. Release what no longer belongs in your future. Release the need to fully understand every disappointment. Release the guilt from mistakes already teaching you wisdom. Release the fear that nothing good can happen anymore. Your future still carries beauty, still carries purpose, still carries peace, still carries relationships that can strengthen your spirit instead of breaking it. And there are healthier days ahead for the version of you willing to continue healing instead of surrendering to discouragement. I also need you to stop comparing your healing process to everyone else. Some people heal outwardly while still struggling internally. Others appear strong publicly while privately battling fear every day. Do not assume everyone else has perfect peace while only you struggle emotionally. Every person carries hidden battles. Every heart heals differently. Every journey unfolds differently. Your process is not worthless because it takes time. And tonight, I need you to remember this deeply. Healing does not erase your past, but it changes your relationship with it. One day, the memories that once broke you emotionally will no longer control your peace. One day, the pain that once consumed your thoughts will become wisdom instead of torment. One day you will look back and realize you survived seasons you once thought would destroy you forever. And that realization will strengthen your faith deeply. You are not weak because healing still feels difficult sometimes. You are human, but you are also becoming stronger than your previous pain, stronger than your previous fear, stronger than your previous hopelessness. And the life ahead of you still carries meaningful purpose. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type, "I am healing every day," in the comments as a declaration that your restoration journey is continuing forward. And continue staying until the end of this journey, because the final message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, renew your peace, rebuild your confidence, and prepare your spirit for the next chapter of your life. Remember this deeply tonight. Healing may feel slow sometimes, but every step forward is proof that pain is no longer defeating your spirit. Say amen. If you believe healing, peace, and restoration are already growing inside your life now, listen to me carefully tonight, because you are standing at the edge of a new chapter, even if you cannot fully see it yet. You have cried through seasons you thought would never end. You have carried burdens nobody truly understood. You have survived heartbreak, fear, disappointment, loneliness, confusion, and emotional exhaustion. There were moments when you questioned your strength, moments when you wondered if your life would ever truly change, moments when your spirit became tired of fighting invisible battles every single day. But tonight I am telling you clearly, the life ahead of you will not look like the life behind you. Do not stop listening, because this final message is meant to strengthen your spirit for the season you are now entering. The enemy tried to convince you that pain would become your permanent future. He wanted you trapped in hopelessness, trapped in fear, trapped in survival mode. But you did not survive all those difficult seasons just to remain emotionally broken forever. There is transformation ahead for you. There is peace ahead for you. There is growth ahead for you. And there is a stronger version of yourself beginning to rise from everything you survived. My child, look at how far you have already come. Years ago, certain situations would have completely destroyed your confidence. Certain disappointments would have broken your spirit for much longer. Certain storms would have left you hopeless. But now, wisdom lives inside you, where fear once ruled. You became stronger through pressure, wiser through pain, more discerning through disappointment. And even though the process hurt deeply, it also revealed resilience you never knew existed inside you. Do not underestimate the strength you gained while surviving difficult seasons. And hear me carefully tonight, stop speaking as if your future is empty. Some of you became so used to struggle that you now expect life to remain difficult forever. You wake up already preparing emotionally for disappointment. You expect rejection before opportunities arrive. You assume things will fail before they even begin. But that mindset cannot follow you into the next chapter. The future ahead of you requires faith stronger than fear. You cannot keep feeding hopelessness daily while asking for peace. You cannot keep expecting disaster while praying for restoration. Your words matter deeply. What you repeatedly believe shapes your emotional atmosphere. Begin speaking life over your future again. Say, better days are ahead. Say, peace is entering my life. Say, I will not stay trapped forever. Say, healing is changing me. Faith grows when you stop partnering with hopelessness. I also need you to understand this truth tonight. The next season of your life will require healthier habits, healthier thinking, healthier boundaries, and healthier relationships. Some of you survived difficult seasons, but now it is time to stop living like survival is your permanent identity. You are allowed to rest, allowed to heal, allowed to feel joy again, allowed to build a peaceful life, allowed to protect your spirit from constant negativity. Stop carrying old emotional chains into your future. Stop reopening wounds through endless overthinking. Stop comparing your journey to everyone around you. Your timeline is different because your growth is different, and your story is still unfolding. Some of you secretly fear becoming hopeful again because previous hope ended painfully. But hear me clearly tonight. Not every future chapter will repeat your past suffering. There are people ahead who will value your heart properly. There are opportunities ahead that will align with your growth. There are peaceful moments ahead that your spirit desperately needs. There are blessings ahead that pain cannot currently imagine. And there is purpose ahead greater than your previous disappointments. Do not let fear make you miss the beautiful things still waiting for your life. The storms you survived were never meant to become your permanent home. They were preparing you, strengthening you, teaching you, refining you. And now the wisdom gained through those battles is becoming part of the foundation for your future. You are not weak anymore, not invisible, not forgotten, not abandoned. You are rebuilding, you are healing, you are growing stronger. And the next chapter of your life will reflect that transformation. I know there are still moments when uncertainty makes you anxious. The future can feel unclear sometimes, but clarity often grows while walking forward, not while standing still in fear. Take the next step anyway. Pray anyway. Keep rebuilding anyway. Keep healing anyway. Keep believing anyway. Small, faithful steps create powerful transformation over time. And remember this deeply tonight. You do not need to become perfect before your life becomes meaningful. Some people delay their growth because they are waiting to feel completely ready, completely healed, or completely fearless first. But progress happens through consistency, not perfection. One peaceful decision at a time. One healthy boundary at a time. One act of courage at a time. One day of healing at a time. That is how your future changes. And tonight, I want you to leave this message understanding something deeply important. Your story is not ending in darkness. There is still purpose attached to your life, still joy ahead, still healing ahead, still peace ahead, and still a future waiting for the version of you that refused to quit during difficult seasons. If this message is speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type, "My life is changing," in the comments as a declaration that you are ready to walk into the new season, being prepared for your future. And continue carrying these messages in your heart daily. Apply them in your life. Protect your peace. Guard your mind. Release what weakens your spirit. Walk forward with faith instead of fear. And remember that healing, growth, and restoration happen through consistent daily choices. Thank you for staying on this journey until the end. And if these messages strengthened your spirit, encouraged your heart, or helped you through difficult seasons, share this video with someone who may need hope tonight. And if you feel led to support this ministry so these words can continue reaching hurting hearts around the world, you can do so through the link given below. Remember this deeply tonight. The life ahead of you will be different because you are no longer the same person who entered the storm. Say amen if you believe your new season has already begun.